From Iggy Pop.
That one guy or a band?
That is one guy, Iggy Pop,
Okay.
from Detroit, Michigan.
And he's
James Osterman.
not much of a guy. I mean, he's a great guy, but he's a little guy.
He's short. He's super skinny. That's how I want to look when I'm older.
Ew.
I want to have that
You gonna get
stretched.
shorter?
Huh?
You want to get shorter?
I mean, don't you shrink? I mean, he's never been. I saw Iggy Pop one time at the Roseland Ballroom, which I think is now closed in New York, but it was there for a long, long time. And it was an MTV after party. So 20 years ago. I've posted the photo before, but I have a floor mat in front of my sink in the kitchen that I made out of the ticket stub from this show. It was Iggy Pop at the Roseland Ballroom. And, I mean, how old is he now? 60-something? Is he 70?
I don't know.
I mean, subtract 20 from that. Okay, so he's 74 right now. 74 minus 20. 73, 72, 71, 70.
Hold on, I'll get my calculator.
So I saw him when he was a little bit older than I am now. I saw him when he was 54 years old. And he's still up there, like, rolling around on the thing and beating himself up with it. I mean, when you're Iggy Pop, you can't go skiing backwards, you know, but he's just old now and skin stretched over a skeleton, so he kind of looks ripped, but he also looks appropriately old. And he lives on an island with like a Tahitian girlfriend, and God bless him, this guy. That's how I want to look. That thin, skeleton-y, it's the best.
Like you're gonna get blown away in the wind.
Whatever.
Not cute, man.
Yeah.
He and Bourdain,
But that's
those were
kinda
guys that were like shredded,
I mean,
old dudes.
And he has his
they're
pants
not- he's not
unzipped.
old, but that's what Machine Gun Kelly's body's like.
Well, but he's a young guy, though.
Right, but I'm
I mean,
saying, like, he's a super skinny dude.
Right.
This looks like a worm man. Look at that. That's a worm body, like in Men in Black.
A worm body?
Yeah, like the worms who work in Men in Black. That's
I mean,
what
he's a little
picture.
saggy, but he's 74. Still Iggy Pop.
And his penis is almost out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way he's got his pants unzipped and
Yes.
unbuttoned. I mean, come on.
His
That's
name
the
isn't
same picture I'm looking
his
at.
name isn't Iggy Hyde. It's Iggy Pop.
Oh man, yeah, there is not 1 ounce of
That's what I'm
anything
saying.
attracted to.
People say, "Oh, Cody, Poundcake, you're such a gold digger." Like, there ain't no amount of money that will make
That was on
would
top
give
of
me.
you,
Nah,
sweating on you.
He could
The
be worth
blonde
$100 million.
hair.
I'm just like, I would.
But
patently-
guys,
that's
he's
patently
74
false.
years old.
I
and he
don't
looks-
care.
But I'm just saying,
Right.
Well,
Alan
look at
says
when
he has
he's younger.
some young girlfriend. How young is his girlfriend, Alan?
Well, I mean, she's probably 40s, maybe 30s, maybe. I don't know.
What about when he looked like that?
That's
Short
he's
hair
still
and
pretty
eyeliner?
old in there.
Yeah, but he's not as saggy.
I'm looking at him in the
Not
70s.
as
and
saggy.
This is just not a look that I enjoy.
His, I guess, wife now, Nina Alou. She's, I don't know how old she is. She's been married to him for like 15 years.
Oh, here's Alan's boyfriends together.
Who's that?
Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah, Bourdain and Iggy Pop.
Iggy Pop.
Yeah, I
Bourdain
love
was
Anthony
cut out of
Bourdain.
wood, man.
God bless him.
In Rockstar.
Why do you kill yourself with a body like that?
Because he's sad on the inside, Alan.
Sad on the
He
inside.
should have let himself have a day off.
Seriously.
Take a cheat day, bud.
Yeah. Spend
Have
more
some
time
cake.
looking at your outside. That'll cheer you up. If you listen to the show on iHeartRadio from outside Ohio, whether it's a Tahitian island or elsewhere, tell me where. Chris is one of our bureau chiefs in Chicago. Aaron listens in Jacksonville, Florida. Beth is a bureau chief in Scottsdale, Arizona. And Michelle is our one bureau chief in Altoona, Pennsylvania. If you've ever been to Altoona, it's not that far from the Maryland border. It's kind of south central, not in a cool Compton way, south central Pennsylvania. And 45 minutes straight down 99 from Altoona is a town called Bedford, Pennsylvania, and that is right on the Maryland border, closer to Hagerstown than Pittsburgh. And 90 head of cattle died in a double barn fire. And I only mention that.
Is 90 head of cattle just mean 90 cattle?
Yes.
Okay.
They call them heads of cattle.
But
It's not like a head of
Can
lettuce.
you just say cattle? Like 90 cattle died.
I'm trying to use the vernacular of the working man, Bill.
And I'm telling the
I
working man
lost
that they're
90 head of cattle out there.
Well, they're
and,
not chickens. Like, if their head dies, all of it dies.
right. But I'm saying, like, you don't need the word head
because
there.
when they're counting them, they count their heads. They're not going to count their bodies. They go, how many cattle you got out there? I got 1, 2.
Got 90.
You count them by the head. 90 head of cattle.
You don't
Yeah,
count the
90.
legs and divide by 4?
Legs are harder to see. They're all smashed in there.
I
and
don't know.
It's easier to count the heads are on top, legs are on the bottom.
Got it. Forgot that part.
So they say 90 head of cattle. All right. You grew up in Medina. You've heard this. You grew up in the sticks.
yeah, I
You're
wasn't
surrounded by
paying attention
farm.
to anything. 'Cause
Well,
I
if you
didn't
had,
like
you would have
any
heard
of
us
that
say
stuff.
90 head of cattle. Anyway.
Sure, I have, but just one of those things where it doesn't make sense to add that word if it doesn't mean anything other than, like, if you say, I got 90 cattle and I got 90 head of cattle, you got 90 cattle. So why are you saying head?
You can say
I thought
90 cattle.
was the plural of cow. They were a cattle.
No.
What is a group of cows called?
A group of cows.
A herd?
A
Are
herd
they a
of
herd?
cows? Yeah. A herd of cows. Cattle is not the plural word for cows.
Is a cattle a
I thought
kind
that was
of cow?
a name of. I thought that was a name like a murder of crows. A cattle.
A
Of
cattle
cows.
is a kind of cow. It's in the
Okay.
bovine family, right?
What's the difference?
They're all herbivores? I don't know. I mean,
I asked the difference. You told me what they had in common.
I don't know. No, all cattle are herbivore. I don't know what the other cow, I don't know. I don't know. But I know the word cattle is not the plural of cows.
I
A
didn't think it was
herd
a-
of cows would be.
Okay, I didn't think it was
That's
a
why when
plural.
you see cows, you go, you heard? That's what they mean when they say that. You heard 90 head of cattle? So anyway, the only reason that I mention this,
Cattle is the term for number of bovines, regardless of sex. Cow is female.
Yeah.
Cow is female.
bovine sex. All right, well, there you
Cows
go.
are cattle.
What does that sound like, Poundcake?
Moo. Oh,
Right.
I thought I was going to do it live.
Go ahead.
Moo. Question mark?
Questioning cow. Isn't that old bit?
Moo.
Questioning cow.
Wait a minute.
Interrupting cow is the...
Oh, we got cattle
Cattle,
breaking cattle
hold
news.
on. Cattle can only be used in the plural, not the singular.
No,
So
I know.
it's-
There's no... But I
There's
thought
no,
you...
it's not one cattle.
Correct. That's why
So
90
cattle
had a
is
cattle.
a group.
I thought you were asking, is cattle the plural
No.
word? Oh, I thought
was
that's what
saying,
you're asking.
does cattle refer to a group,
Correct.
like a murder of crows?
Yes.
A cattle of cows.
No.
I don't think you have to say cattle.
Now
of
you're
cows.
using the word.
I think you just say
Cattle.
Cattle.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is no singular
But
cattle.
this
That's
says
right.
3 cattle or some cattle, but not 1 cattle.
Correct.
But what about 2
One
cattle?
2 cattle.
But wait, he said 3.
Or some.
You know how the plural of goose is geese?
Yes.
I thought you were asking, is the
No,
plural of
that is
cow
not what I
cattle?
was asking,
Oh, okay.
no.
A group. Yes. It
Yes.
has to be plural. It's fundamentally plural.
That's
All
what I
those
meant.
cows.
There you go.
Okay.
90 head of cattle.
90 head of cattle.
How'd they die? Because also I feel like if you have cattle, don't you kill them kind of on a regular basis anyway?
But if they're burned, how good did that smell?
This is what I'm thinking. That must have smelled delicious.
Barbecue.
To
That's so
drive
awful.
by
Is it awful?
in Bedford
Come on.
County, 2 barns are on fire. Okay, so listen, condolences to the farmers,
stinks.
whatever.
I was like, go to corral. There you go.
Golden Corral. No wonder there's a shortage.
All the steaks were getting cooked here in
Yeah.
Bedford County.
You got to cut them off yourself, but they're good.
I just wanted the steak.
Farm to table, babe.
If you were driving by,
Farm to farm.
if you were driving by, would have smelled great.
I don't know if burning cow would smell good.
Nice and smoky.
Oh, I bet it would.
No, I think the hair on them is not great.
Oh, yeah, their brains.
Cattle country. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such educational films as 2 minus 3 equals negative fun and Firecrackers, the Silent Killer.
Mr. McClure?
Oh, hello, Bobby.
Jimmy, I'm curious as to how meat gets from the ranch to my stomach.
Whoa, slow down, Jimmy. You just asked a mouthful. It all starts here in the high-density feedlot. Then when the cattle are just right, it's time for them to graduate from Bovine University. Come on, Jimmy. Let's take a peek at the killing floor. Don't let the name throw you, Jimmy. It's not really a floor. It's more of a steel grating that allows material to sluice through so it can be collected and exported.
Meat for you. Yeah. Kids
Getting hungry, Jimmy?
shaking and white as a ghost.
Tommy, the co-host of my podcast, is she's vegan, and she is listening to the show right now, and she's not loving it.
What? Because cows smell good when they're on fire? Listen, we didn't make the rules.
So awful.
We didn't make the rules.
It's like, okay,
that
wait a second.
that should reinforce to her that she's made the right decision.
Here's what it is.
She go, thank God I don't have to worry about any steak shortages. You'll never see me. What's her name?
Tommy.
You'll never see me, Tommy, getting into a fight at the Golden Corral because they ran out of steak.
Like how Cody was like, I don't love that these documentaries are being made, but if they're making these documentaries about rapists, I'm going to watch them. I don't love that 90 head of cattle got burned, but if they're burning, I'm going to smell it.
That's right.
You know?
I can't control what goes into my nose.
I can't control what I like.
That's right.
Well, who's doing the raping?
Don't bring me back in.
I'm just saying.
It's a
I
callback.
understand you. I understand you a little bit better now.
Yeah,
There you go. Yeah.
It might not be the best situation, but if it's going to happen either way,
Yes.
I'll
I'm gonna get my
salivate
smells in.
I'm going to salivate a little bit.
Yeah, so 90 head of cattle, or beeves, if you will. Do you prefer beeves?
I do prefer beef.
All right, there
the
you go.
wet beeves. We can bring that back.
Beeves. How about that?
Oh, them wet beeves. Burnt beeves.
Yeah.
Hot
vegetarian.
beeves.
My boyfriend's a vegetarian.
It's just such a commitment.
What is?
Being
It's
a
not that
vegetarian.
hard. It's easier than ever.
It's not a
now to be
commitment.
a
Rule number
vegetarian.
1, don't eat meat.
I did a month and I think like a month and a half of no meat over the summer.
It's really not hard.
What do you eat?
Anything.
Vegetables.
And they have so many meat like replacements
Substitutes, yeah.
and substitutes that you could take it out of your diet and not know the difference. Seriously.
Then why don't you go?
Because you're still trying to trick your brain. Even if you want to be a vegan or a vegetarian, you're still required to trick your brain, which is why they still make everything in the shape of meat.
Right,
That's why
hamburgers,
people
steaks,
complain that they're
whatever.
like, when they advertise Impossible Meat or whatever, they don't just say the taste, they say the texture. Mm-hmm. Because people who do, obviously it's people who do eat meat and are trying to eat less of it that eat that stuff. But, yeah, I don't eat that much meat. I'm not a vegetarian by any means, but I don't eat much meat. I have tuna every day, or salmon.
That's
You're a
like,
pescatarian.
I think that's pretty ostentatious, but
It means the only meat you eat is fish.
No, I know what it means. I think that it's.
Mary, can you explain what a fish is to him? Can you Mary explain
She's a
that to
fish
him?
cop.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm
Yeah.
Mary Santora fish cop.
No, I think pescatarian is a dodge that people who want a word to call themselves, you just go, I just eat fish. Pescatarian is something they can.
I feel like you would love more words.
Huh?
I feel like you would be on team more words.
Long word,
When
yeah.
they're required, yeah, I don't find that required. I mean, pescatarian came out of nowhere 10 years ago, and they're like, I only eat fish.
I've heard pescatarian
I'm a pescatarian.
for 20, 30 years. Like
You've heard that word for
Yes.
30 years.
Maybe not
You
30.
remember 30 years ago
I
when you
remember
were 10,
20
you
years
heard
ago.
pescatarian.
I've heard pescatarian a lot for a long time.
Anyway,
Anyway.
I'm saying it's unnecessary.
You
Just
got
go,
your
I just eat
staples.
fish.
That's what we need to talk about. The big snowstorm coming. You got your staples. I was at the grocery store
Your
today.
milk.
No, that's not the staples. The essentials. Mary, you know the essentials. We learned it from Dumb and Dumber. I got a big foam cowboy hat, a bunch of beer, and a paddle ball. And then I was trying to buy a nudie magazine. And then what happens? I lost my wallet today.
1990s. Pescatarian. So it has been around for 30 years.
Yeah, fine. But the point being is I think it's an unnecessary designation.
Although the area, it doesn't spike until about 2019.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
just saying
fine.
I had heard it.
That's all, and that's all fine. It's good. I'm just saying it's unnecessary. It's
think
people.
it makes
People
a
want to
good
be different,
designation.
so nobody wants to go. Well,
Well, if you want to
I
know
eat
what
meat.
people eat, and you're like, hey, you're coming over for dinner, what would
Do you have any dietary restrictions?
Yeah, you go,
Right.
I'm pescatarian. I go, I know what that means.
Or I only eat fish.
That sounds pickier.
Huh?
I only eat fish. I'd rather be like, I'm a pescatarian.
Then somebody goes, "What is that?"
I think everybody knows what that is.
You do?
Yes.
You think everybody knows
I
what
don't
that
care.
is?
I feel
I
like
don't-
it's more widely
Did Poundcake
known
know what that was?
I didn't know. I heard it before.
I don't care if
He had no
everyone
clue
knows.
what that
I
meant.
know
That-
what it means.
That means 25% of this show didn't know. You don't even have to cast a net out
5%
there.
of the show doesn't know anything. At any given moment,
That's
any
a lot.
subject we're talking about, one of us has no clue what's
That's
happening.
true. That is true.
That's facts for real. You ain't have to put it like that.
Just ask this scientician.
I did for real lose my wallet today, and that is the worst feeling.
I lost my necklace.
I found it. It was at the grocery store, and it was all intact, but it was a half an hour there where I was like,
At the
where the
grocery
hell is this thing?
So you have a legit wallet that you carry around.
I have a
Is it in
wallet.
the bread aisle?
You have
or
a
what is it?
wallet?
I have.
What are you, George Costanza?
What is it?
Dude, it is a George Costanza wallet.
He's got the bad
It's
mother effer. Wow,
yeah.
you have a big fat old
I have a
tiny
big
wallet.
fat old
Let me get
wallet.
mine out.
And I don't know why I carry around this much stuff in it. I just feel like I want to have all these things just in case I need them, even though all I ever use is my debit card and my ID.
That's
Where
what I'm
was
saying.
it?
It fell out of my pocket when I was leaving. Apparently,
My wallet's back.
I think when I
Do
pulled
you
my-
carry it in a back pocket?
No, I'm a front pocket carrier.
So you have a giant bulge
Wad,
next
yeah.
to you have a big old leather wad in your front pocket. Wow, it seems uncomfortable.
It's fine.
I got a new wallet for Christmas too. I didn't even transfer it over
Yours
yet.
is fat too.
Oh,
but
like
that's-
this guy.
That's the thing is when
I got all my gift cards in here.
Oh yeah, it's fat with gift
Why don't you get a
cards.
card holder? Oh, this is my wallet. It's got 4 cards in it.
I got
My
Chick-fil-A.
wallet is this thing.
Chick-fil-A,
That's what I
Heinen's.
need. I need to switch it up.
Yeah.
I had a small little wallet with just a zipper that went on my keychain. It was perfect because then I could just grab my keys, have my tiny little card thing, and the zipper broke the other day. So I was walking, and all of my cards and my ID were all over the ground.
God. Yeah.
I
You're
was
like George
"Damn it."
Costanza. Everything goes flying
Well,
in the
now
air.
I have a big old wallet like theirs because it was the only one I had laying around.
I don't want to blow up their spot, by the way, but one of our coworkers had his identity stolen.
What?
Well, if it got stolen, it doesn't matter if you say what his old identity was.
Professor Plum was his old identity. He's getting a brand new one. It's going to be great.
No, I was lucky because I called them up and I'm like, hey, I think I lost my wallet. And they're like, can you describe it? And then I just say what's on it. And they're like, yep, it's here.
You talk to Agnes,
Yeah.
65, working customer service.
She's like, oh, so you're the bad MFer.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Everything better be in there.
Everything was. It's good. All good. They didn't even take my Heinen's gift card. But I got all my staples.
Look at you. All right, I got to take a break. If you want to get the last word in, shoot me a text, 35192, and the next chance for you to grab some money is coming up, too. Another keyword at 6:30 for you to go fund yourself.